weekend. I hope you had a relaxing weekend. I hope you had a productive weekend. I hope you did all the things you wanted to do and didn't do the things you didn't want to do. I hope you did the things you didn't want to not do. That makes sense, actually. Hello, everybody. Just waiting for everybody to come into the room. Just relaxing. Today's subject. Every day we do movies, we talk about movies, and we talk about interesting, pertinent stuff that's in the news, stuff that we should be talking about anyway. Trying to bring about real change in your comedy day. When I say that, I just mean I hope you giggle a few times and have a good time and just relax. This is a safe place where you can come and hang out, talk about movies, and talk about whatever you like. Talk about things in the news. Help try to influence people in a positive way. Look, I'm stating the mission statement of the show. I'm Aristotle Full Throttle. There are so many things. Hey, V. Dre. Hey, 13. Hey, Senegal. I don't know how to say that name. Today we're talking about comedy duos, dopey duos, particularly ones who are two peas in a pod, like Cheech and Chong, like Bill and Ted, like Romy and Michelle. People who are silly and we're like, look at them being so stupid together. We love it. I love how dumb they are when they're paired up together. They're like two peas in a pod. And that is why we are all here. But first, lest we forget, there is a global pandemic happening right now. And that is, a main reason why I started the show, so that everybody had a place to go during the day. Although, things are changing. Things are changing every day. Remember to wash your hands, wear a mask, and stay the heck away from each other. I'm Dr. Baby Yoda Fauci. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you, Dr. Baby Yoda Fauci. What's going to happen if they don't? I'm going to give you a Dr. Baby Yoda Fauci ouchie. Ooh, that rhymes. That means it's true. There's so many things that we think are true just because they sound right or they rhyme. You ever notice that? The people will say, like, jack of all trades, master of none. That's not true. You can be a multi-hyphenate. You can have more than one degree. You could be a jack of multiple trades. I mean, a master of multiple trades, that is. There are people who have, they send people to Mars because they have multiple degrees and they have a concentration in many different fields. And that is why they send them to Mars, because it's easy to send one sack of protoplasm that we call a human, then two, if that one sack of protoplasm has 2 degrees, one in botany and one in astronomy, and astrobotany. Ain't you seen The Martian? Jack of all trades, master of some. There's so many things that rhyme. Happy wife, happy life. That's like saying, don't pursue your own happiness. Make sure that it's all at the sacrifice for your spouse. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. You should be happy spouse, happy spouse, get deloused. That's what it should be. Hey, what's up, Ron Perty? Ron Perty, welcome to you today. Happy Monday. Ron Perty will be our guest for tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. He's a fellow filmmaker extraordinaire, Esquire. And that's what we're gonna do. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, especially if you throw it at their face. Hey, Lori3040, welcome. You found the best Baby Yoda mask. Uh-oh, I need to get it. I need to get that. Send a link. Drop a link in the restream or in the chat. If you guys are just tuning in right now, I'm going to send in the invite to the Discord. If you have never been to this channel before, we going to go to the Discord. And that is, y'all can join the conversation, maintain the conversation, drop your links in, drop your pictures, drop your family photos in there. We want to see you. We're a community here, right? Cameo Models International, right? Cameo Models International. I think that's a real person. Disney.com. That is also a place that's probably the best place to get Disney merchandise. That's real. This is funny because this isn't even the best Baby Yoda. They were like, Quick, we need Baby Yodas. Do the best you can. Just carve it out of clay. We'll make a mold of it. We'll charge $30. Dr. Baby Yoda. They couldn't put Baby Yoda into production because people would have seen that there was a Baby Yoda. That's why there are no Baby Yodas available until mid-2020, the worst year on record. That's also why it's the worst year on record, because there's no Baby Yodas available for all of us to share. If only Baby Yoda could come and use the Force and get rid of this goddamn pandemic. God pandemic. That's what I call it. No, it's really important that you stay safe. It's really important that you stay away from people. Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. I drive around, right? And it's cool. You could go to your restaurants. You could do your things. You could wear your masks. But just think about this. This is what I'm thinking when I go into... well, I don't go into the store. I was driving down the street, and there are plenty of outdoor seating areas for restaurants with people who just want to hang out outside and have their eggs and their salad and their sandwich, their Reuben, their club sandwich. They want to order their filet mignon. But when I drive past these areas, I see a whole seating area of people just chatting like nothing's going on, like it's same old at a restaurant. And then I see people lined up outside waiting to get a table, all wearing masks. And then I see a person in a freaking hazmat suit, mask, gloves, long sleeves, smock, face shield, serving up their grilled cheese. I find it absurd. People are like, this is okay, this is totally fine. I'll just go out and I just want to go out and have my egg salad sandwich at this. And then you go there, and then there's someone literally in a spacesuit handing you your pear salad. Guys, does that not strike us? I guess there's some people who struggle with empathy. I get that it supports the restaurant, but order takeout. I get that it supports the servers, but you are putting these servers and these people at risk. Because I think if you're brazen enough to just be like, it's fine. Let's just go out. Just have some sandwiches. And then there's someone like coming over with your... Here's your quinoa. That's what's happening, guys. It's bizarre. It's absurd. I don't know. Just order takeout, man. Just order takeout. Have a picnic in your backyard. I don't know. I'm just saying. I find it strange. Yes, they look like the people who were testing on E.T. He came to me. He came to me. The sandwich came to me. The soup. The French onion soup came to me. It was totally worth it. Totally worth it, right? I'm just so glad we had that party 2 weeks ago. I mean, Dad died from it. Good golly. I don't know. I don't know what to do, Ron Perty. I don't know what to do, Lori 3040. I don't know what to do, Cameo Models International. What do we do? How do we overcome? Well, we look into the news. Let's see what's trending, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first part of the show. We like to air our dirty laundry, get upset for a second, and then be happy. It's a purge, and it's a fill and purge. What do they call that? The vomitoriums? No. It's binge and purge. That's what it's called. So let's binge on some news. Okay. Elizabeth Warren. Ooh, Warren is trending. Madonna is trending. Madonna, what's Madonna trending about? She's got a headache. Madonna has a headache, everybody. That's a Louis Anderson bit from the 80s, guys. That's real old. Why do they even have MTV News? Because Madonna's got a headache. My city put a mask mandate in the place, and of course people are fighting it despite getting fined. Ron Perty. Some people... You know, I'm gonna tell you, this is absolutely the reason why we're in this mess, because there wasn't a person at the top, say, oh, like the president, the person who is the quote leader of the free world. There weren't people at the top going, this is a sign of patriotism. Wearing a mask is a sign that you are protecting your fellow citizen and that we are making a stronger nation together. That we will fight this, that this thing ain't no thing. That we got this, we can do this, we can get rid of this in 6 weeks if we wear a mask diligently every single day for 6 weeks every time we're around other people in public. We can do that. If there was somebody just hammering that message home every single day, I guarantee you there wouldn't be so much backlash. Those people who are doing the backlash would look like a bunch of jerks. I mean, they do look like a bunch of jerks, but they'd look like even bigger jerks. And I think they'd be fewer and far betweener. I said betweener. What's up, Notorious DIT? We're just talking about mask wearing and how people aren't complying with the idea that they should be respectful to their fellow citizen and human being. Why not? It's real simple. Guys, like some of these people, we had to do way much harder things in the past. The Marlins, they're trending. Marlins home opener canceled after players and coaches tested positive for COVID-19. I wonder why that is. All right, what's number 2 trending? John Lewis. Okay, rest in peace, John Lewis. He was representative. Guys, did you see that Marco Rubio tweeted out from his account a picture of Elijah Cummings and not John Lewis? On account of them being both bald, black men. I mean, people are like, well, they do look similar. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't make that mistake. You don't make that mistake from your official Twitter account, Marco Rubio. You don't say, oops, that was Elijah Cummings. Who knew? You did. You should have. Yeah, anyway. Anybody on YouTube, guys, sorry, I can't, this restream doesn't quite work that well with YouTube, so I'm going to watch the show from the YouTube and greet our viewers on the YouTube platform. If you are on YouTube, you can also go over to twitch.tv/Aristotle Full Throttle, and there we can also see our other friends, Ron, Lori, and Lori. All right, well, the channel is doing this thing. It's just doing like a circle. It's going like this. Circle. Yeah. It's funny how these things work, isn't it? I mean, not work. I talk about this every time. I'm like, you know what? The funny thing about technology is that it says, hey, this is what this wheel does, and then the wheel falls off. The wheel propels your vehicle forward, and then all the wheels fall off. Or you get a flat. That's kind of the analogy for all of things. Let's see what else is trending. I find it such a bizarre mistake to make when you tweet out a picture of Elijah Cummings. Guys, if you are at any platform that features a like button, press said like button. If you are on any platform that does anything like that, hey guys, Candyland, Tatiana, Angie, K-Ferg, y'all, I see you now. I see you now on YouTube's. Guys, I was having a problem earlier not seeing your texts and stuff. But I would just like to take this moment to reach out to Jimmy James Cordova and send our heartfelt warm wishes and get well soons to his family members and people in his life who have been infected by COVID-19, and they are suffering currently, and hopefully they will get better soon. And we are thinking about you. You are a friend of the show, and for all intents and purposes, a good guy, from what we can tell from this platform. So we hope that y'all get well soon. I can see you guys on YouTube as well right now, so that's a good thing. I can see you on here. Ron Perty apologizes on behalf of the Green Bay Packers, fans everywhere, and Brett Favre's behavior. For Brett Favre, did Brett Favre tweet out a picture of his wiener again? Didn't Brett Favre do that? I feel like everybody's like career ends because of they like, guys, you heard about Ray Park over the weekend. I don't know what happened there, but apparently Ray Park's Instagram account got hacked or something. There was some kind of revenge porn incident on Ray Park's Instagram account. I can't imagine he did that on purpose. Like, who does that? First of all. Second of all, he got fired from Disney. I don't even know if this is true. If you guys can help me research this throughout the show and find out whether or not Ray Park will be back as Darth Maul. Why do we like Darth Maul so much? He's never done anything in the movies anyway. I know he's like more of a fleshed out character in the series, the animated series, but I'd feel bad if Darth Maul's career was ended from a revenge porn photograph. Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner welcome their first child together. This child is going to be so let's see. Sophie Turner, that child is going to have the power to create cake by the ocean from their mind. That's a really obscure, dumb joke. Thank you. Monday thoughts, guys. Here are my Monday thoughts. First of all, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining me here on Aristotle Full Throttle. Today's subject, in general, you could start thinking about them. Thinking about your favorite dummy duos in movies. It's like couple of dumb peas in a pod. You know, I was thinking about Bill and Ted. Those are my favorite. Those guys, Harold and Kumar. I forgot to put them on the thumbnail. Those are probably one of the best dummy duos ever. Harold and Kumar go to a White Castle. That is a great dummy duo. That really, those movies, I think, really gave Neil Patrick Harris's career a boost. And I mean that in sincerity. Dumb and Dumber. Veronica for the win. Dumb and Dumber. That's a great one. Jim Carrey. Man, I was thinking about Jim Carrey this weekend. Because I just saw a really interesting... They did a face replacement. They did one of those fake outs. Deep fakes. For the Joker. With Jim Carrey's face. And it was creepy. Super creepy. Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey as Dumb and Dumberer. Those guys were really great. Weren't they? What a fun dummy duo that was. That so much of that movie Dumb and Dumber was was Jim Carrey coming up with just... Guys, when Jim Carrey walks out of the 7-Eleven, he's like, hey, big gulps, huh? Okay, see you later. That was an improv line. That's an amazing moment in Dumb and Dumber. Hey, guys. Big gulps, huh? It's great product placement, too. Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China is a dummy. He is a good dummy. He's a great hero dummy. Some of the best are like hero dummies who fail upward and win at being dummies. Some of those are my favorite. I actually like that character by Pete Davidson. I forget his name, the character that Pete Davidson plays on Saturday Night Live, where he always wins and he just goes, okay. Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, okay. Cool. Dope. Yeah. They're like, Pete, you are the answer to all things in the universe. You need to come with me. And he's like, no, that's okay. They're like, what do you mean? You must come and just help me destroy planet Xenos. And he's like, no, I'm good. That's one of my favorites. Oh, Jay and Silent Bob. That's a great one, Ron. I love the Chad. Chad is the character. AG points out that Pete Davidson's character is called Chad. What's up, Dolly Mensmore? That name Dolly Mensmore reminds me of Hello Dolly, the musical. And also Carol Channing, because she played Dolly. And also that musical I was in, that was the first musical I was in, and also it's dumb. But I'm sure you're not dumb. But Hello Dolly. I couldn't quite understand the play Hello Dolly. I remember being in it going, okay, so now we're excited that she's arrived. Hello, Dolly. It's so great that you're here. We don't really know anything about you. We just know that it's special, that you should arrive at some point. I think that's Dolly Mensmore. When you arrive, we're gonna sing "Hello, Dolly" for you every time. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler in Mean Girls, Bad Mama, and the Golden Globes. I thought you said Golden Girls, but the Golden Globes. Yes, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler they do the best type of comedy, which is super smart and super dumb at the same time. That's my favorite type of comedy. As long as it's really dumb and really smart and also dumb, while at the same time being incredibly not dumb. K-Ferg, Jack Burton says, what does he say? Jack Burton, yeah. Oh, yeah. Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China, played by none other than Kurt Russell. Aristotle, how dare you? I love Hello, Dolly, especially with Barbara Streisand. All right, Candyland, I understand, and I appreciate that. I'm just kidding. I have a bias against musicals, okay? And I do that because maybe I was hurt, okay? Maybe I was in musicals. Maybe I lost the lead role in Hello, Dolly and just had to be a tall dude in the choir, in the chorus. Maybe I couldn't dance. Maybe I couldn't even sing or act or even be funny. They just put a straw hat on me and told me to go like this. I was 15. So maybe, Candyland, maybe there's something more to it. Okay, listen. Every musical, there's a musical for everybody, and for me, it's Hamilton. Thank you. Ashton Kutcher and Sean William Scott and Dude, Where's My Car? Angie, we're knocking it out the park today. There's so many peas in a pod that we love in movies, aren't there? So many fun comedy duos. Aren't there any stage comedy duos? You guys know those twins? What are those twins' names? They're like identical twin comedians. And they look exactly the same. It's uncanny. If you were to cross your eyes, you'd just see one in 3D. You could stereoscopically fuse them. I'm getting the feeling Angie might be... What gave it away, Angie? You think that I do have a sore spot about musicals? You think that maybe I thought about this deeply and I was like, why do I have such scorn for people bursting into song and dance spontaneously? Why does it offend me so? Why? Well, because I don't like it. The Schuyler twins? Is that what their name says? I know there are a few comedy twins. There's always these comic duos, like back in the day, you had Martin and Lewis, Jerry Lewis, who, by the way, is quoted as saying he's never seen a woman who's funny. Jerry Lewis, ladies and gentlemen, sexist Jerry Lewis. I don't understand what his eyes and ears have been doing for the last, I don't know, since forever. But they're just funny people in the world, regardless of their gender, sex, orientation. There are just funny people. And there are people who are not funny. And Jerry, we don't find that funny at all, that you don't find women funny. I think that's a situation in which people are in a position where he's got the idea that women can't be funny, so he's just looking for excuses to back up his theory, which is just flawed. I can't even think of that. Ellen DeGeneres was my favorite comedian of all time growing up. I read her books, which interestingly enough, I read Ellen DeGeneres' book when I was a youngin', which is called My Point, and I do have one, which is a great title for a book. I was reading that book, and I was like, this is a great book. And I was carrying it around with me, and then people would say, this is the 90s. This is the only thing that people were interested. And it didn't occur to me, because I had a crush on Ellen DeGeneres. No one had the heart to tell me. So I was like, I had this book with me, and people would go, is it true that she's a lesbian? And that was the only thing people would ask me. That was the only thing that people asked, is it true that she's a lesbian? And I'm like, I don't know, but this book is hella funny. Have you read the book? It's funny. Yes, Angie. Angie says, too bad Ellen is a terrible person. Well, Angie, I don't want to blow up my... Maybe I do, maybe I don't, because nothing's happening right now, but I have worked on the Ellen DeGeneres show many times. And Angie, you said, too bad Ellen is a terrible person. Angie, I will not dispute your claim. I won't say anything for fear of lack of employment. But I have experienced some crazy stuff. Maybe one day I'll divulge that once the Ellen DeGeneres show is off the air and there's no more chances of me getting a job, which is sad. It's very sad. It's a very sad deal, isn't it? Maybe I should just not care and just share with all of the throttlers, all of us in our safe space, the strange and bizarre exploitations that I've witnessed while working for the said show. She will remain nameless, but she will still have a short blonde haircut and still be married to Portia de Rossi. Nobody knows who I'm talking about. Condyland, I don't want to destroy Hello Dolly and Ellen DeGeneres both in one day for you, so I won't. I will move on from this subject. However, I've worked on the show. I've worked with many people from the show. I've worked on many segments from the show. And it is... one day, you will hear about you will hear my memoir of working on that show. But as of now, it's a good gig. I will take your money, CBS. Yes, doing photography on the show. I'm sure someone's going to catch wind of this that I work with on that show and jeopardize my position on that show. But you know what? At this point, it's like nothing's working right now. Nothing's working right now. Yeah, Angie, some of these things that are coming out, it's just sad. Anyway, talking about funny women, do you guys remember Rita Rudner? She was hilarious. I thought she was a very hilarious comedian when I was a kid. Comedy duos, Romy and Michelle. Dummy duos is what we're specifically talking about today. Bill and Ted, Romy and Michelle, Cheech and Chong. The dudes from Friday, Ice Cube and Chris Tucker. I never saw the next Friday and the Friday after next. I never saw those subsequent Fridays. I've never saw the following. I haven't seen any of those. K-Ferg also brings up my Cyndi Lauper story. Thank you, K-Ferg, for remembering that. Yeah, this show is mainly about telling you my personal experiences with horrible people in the industry. Thank you. Also, excellent experiences with delightful people in the industry. Guys, John Ratzenberger from Cheers, remember Cliff? Great guy. See that? It goes both ways. You can be a $73 million heir like John Ratzenberger, who's done a voice in every Pixar movie. You ever notice that? And also has FU money from being on Cheers. Nicest guy, one of the nicest guys I ever worked with. Lots of people. Lots of nice people working with. I bring that up a lot too. On this show, there's some experiences you've had meeting people that you're a fan of. I've met a lot of people that I'm a fan of. What's the one thing we always go away with when we meet somebody that we like? What is the one thing we say? Oh, they were nice. Oh, they were a real jerk. That's the only thing that we ever say when we meet somebody famous. How was it? They were nice. Oh, they were a jerk. That's it. So I think we can learn from that. Just don't be a jerk, ever. It's easy. That's the only thing people come away with. People don't remember what you said. They remember how you made them feel. And that's the truth. People don't say, I met Steven Spielberg, and I really liked his take on 1930s film noir when he discussed that with me. No, you just say, oh, he was nice. That's all. That's all we ever go away with when we encounter people. So just be nice. Be nice. You know what I'm saying? I think so. Guys, on Instagram, if you are so inclined, you can donate to the ACLU. There's a little fundraiser going on there. $1, $2, whatever. You could also support this channel on Patreon. Patreon.com/AristotleFullThrottle. A lot of you are already doing that, which I appreciate. If this is your first time here, you can subscribe on all of the things. Just go to AristotleFullThrottle.com. Subscribe. Go to Twitch. Subscribe, Aristotle Full Throttle. It's brandable. You just Google that and click on the things. Press the like button. I will be forever indebted. I appreciate that. Also, joining us tomorrow at noon is Ron Pertee, a throttler himself, a newly found throttler. He's going to talk about his experiences in the movie industry. Ron, what do you want to talk about tomorrow? We talk about horror movies, making movies. Elwood and Jake from the Blues Brothers. That's a good. Riggs and Murtaugh. I thought about that, Lori 3040. They are kind of dopey, aren't they? I like how they need each other in order to get things. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Oh, these are all excellent ones. Woody and Buzz. You guys are killing it on Twitch. Seth Rogen and James Franco. Very, very great. Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor. Yes, remember See No Evil, Hear No Evil? That was an interesting movie, wasn't it? Jay and Silent Bob are one of my favorites. They go back all the way to the early 90s, or the mid-90s, with Clerks. You guys want to hear the John Ratzenberger story? Here's the John Ratzenberger story. I worked with him on a movie on the Hallmark Channel. You guys can watch it. Let me Google. I don't even remember what the name of the movie was. I don't even remember what I worked on him with. I don't know, worked on with him. Let's see, John Ratzenberger. I'll tell you this. I worked with him, and every day he was kind, and every day he would say nice things and be funny. He was just always funny. And he was always good at, like when I first met him, I'll see, for instance, here's a picture I took, actually. When I first met him, he's like, didn't we meet the other day? And I was like, no, this is our first time meeting. And he's like, oh, I have the same shirt. That's what it is. He's just kind of a wise ass. He's hilarious. I loved it. Hey, did we meet the other day? You know, and I like him because he's in both Superman, the movie, and Superman 2, and he's in The Empire Strikes Back. So he is a throttler. He is definitely nerd-worthy. Guys, John Ratzenberger is in The Empire Strikes Back. That is like got to be one of the coolest credits he's got, in my opinion. But he's also in the Hallmark movie called, trying to remember, Matchmaker Santa. That might have been the one. Maybe not. Let's see. Let me go on my IMDb and try to find it. Tim Conway and Don Knotts. Oh, that's a good one. I remember Tim Conway. Man, he recently passed away just like last year. He was great. What's up, RC Plane 12? All right, let's go down on like this list of, let's see, the Joneses. I don't even know. Let me find. Lindsay Wagner also worked on that movie, and she was nice. Lindsay Wagner being the Bionic Woman. We talked about dogs and also how dogs go to heaven. She's very into this idea that dogs go across the Rainbow Bridge and everything. She's very into those kinds of things, guys. She's an interesting person. She's also bionic. Let's see. What movie? Fuller House? No. TV movie. Let's see. Change of Heart. Carol Burnett and Vicki Lawrence. Yes, they were an interesting duo because they look very similar Carol Burnett is probably one of the funniest humans alive today. Just think of the stuff that Carol Burnett did. I don't understand how Jerry Lewis says women aren't funny. Did he not ever watch the Carol Burnett show? What, is he out of his mind? Clearly. The movie that I worked on is called Change of Heart, 2016. I took those photos that are on the cover. That was my job. Doc and Marty, they are interestingly a kind of a dopey duo, aren't they? Even though Doc is a genius and Marty is also a smart kid, they're kind of stupid. They're kind of dopey, aren't they? They're kind of like why do they keep messing it up? Oh yeah, Ange, I always think of John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell in Step Brothers. This is a great subject because there's so many. Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner. Yes, Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner brings up that, which is a legendary duo because they did The Oldest Man in the World. And Carl Reiner would interview Mel Brooks, and Mel Brooks would pretend to be the oldest man in the world. And he's like, tell me about 2,000 years ago. And he's like, oi, my back. I've been around for 2,000 years. This is crazy. It's a wonderful sketch from, I don't know, the 50s probably, 60s. Carl Reiner recently passed. He will be missed. Comedy legend. I mean, we got to pour one out for Carl Reiner, don't we? So I worked on this movie called Change of Heart with John Ratzenberger. He was super nice. Rick Malambry. You guys remember Rick Malambry from the Step Up movies? Totally cool dude. Go ahead and follow Rick Malambry on all of the things. The guy is a gamer, and he's just a cool guy. I don't play games much, but maybe I should. I think I'm going to incorporate playing more music on the show. I don't have any instruments around me right now, but I'll start to add more music to the show to be more musically inclined. But yeah, Rick Malambry, Step Up, the Step Up movies and a lot of TV movies. Cool guy, nice guy, super duper nice. David Spade and Chris Farley from back in the 90s. So funny. C-3PO and R2-D2. Yes, Ron Pertee. Very, very pertinent. Han Solo and Chewbacca. Yeah, they kind of go with their gut, don't they? Chewbacca's the smart one in that duo, for sure. Chewbacca's the guy who's always got... punch it, Chewie. That's what he says in that, right? Jules and Vincent Vega. I don't know. Yeah, they're kind of dumb. They're both kind of dopey. So many good dopey duos, aren't there? We don't want to see a duo that... well, there's the two genius duo guys in the Pacific Rim movie. Both movies, actually. They're both dopey, but they're both geniuses at the same time, which I thought... I really like those guys. Do you guys like the Pacific Rim movies? I really enjoy those Pacific Rim movies. Hey, while we're at it, Finn and Poe. Aren't they a dopey duo? They're lovers, aren't they? Andy Samberg and Justin Timberlake when they were together on SNL. Oh, yeah. Andy Samberg and Justin Timberlake was very good. Also Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake are really hilarious. Yeah, Ron Pertee, the Pacific Rim movies are pretty good. They're really dumb, but really good at being dumb. I love John Boyega in Pacific Rim 2. The dude just jumps off the screen. He's incredibly charismatic. And then, here's the frustrating thing about Pacific Rim 2 that I always find. You've got this like super highly charismatic dude, John Boyega. Everywhere he goes, everything he touches turns to like gold. He's just really, really good at just breathing life into whatever he's doing. And then you have Scott Eastwood show up. It's just sucking the life off of the screen. So John Boyega is like this endless supply of light and energy. And then Scott Eastwood shows up and he's like, how can I ruin this scene? I'll figure it out. And John Boyega's like, no, you won't. No, you won't. I'm going to make this scene amazing. And Scott Eastwood's like, I'm bad at acting. Sorry, Scott Eastwood. Your dad gave you 50% of your genes, and that's what's giving you 50% of your ability. Sorry. Listen, I am so negative today. Why is that? I'm sorry. I don't mean to be negative. I just think that Scott Eastwood. If you watch the movie Pacific Rim 2, Boyega just comes out swinging at every scene, and Scott Eastwood is like, I just learned my lines an hour ago. Or he's either that or he's like, I've said these lines 100 times by myself in the dark, and I'm just going to repeat them exactly how I said them to myself instead of being in the moment with you, John Boyega. Sorry. That's actor criticism. We are canceling the apocalypse. I challenge you to a dance-off. Yeah, his dad is Idris Elba. Idris Elba. I like Idris Elba. My favorite was when Idris Elba. I'm sorry that he had to suffer COVIDs. Idris Elba got the COVIDs and he got better, but he was like, hey everybody, this is Idris Elba. And I have COVID-19. I have all COVID. I have 19 of the COVIDs. And I challenge you to a dance-off, but I'll be quite winded the whole time. Sorry. And then, and then he's like, the best was when he's like, it's pretty good for celebrities like Tom Hanks and Idris Elba to come out and be like, hey, we caught the thing. This is what we're doing to stay away from people and be healthy about it. But Idris Elba's like, I got COVID-19 and it sucks. Words of wisdom from Idris Elba. Scott, listen, Angie. Scott is good looking. That's all. Angie says Scott Eastwood is good looking, and that's all. And sometimes it gets you a long way in Hollywood, particularly if you're Scott, his dad did. In the first part of Clint Eastwood's career, that first 20 or 30 years, Clint Eastwood got away with just being a very handsome dude. And now he's just an old, crotchety old man who talks to empty chairs and makes decent movies to excellent movies. Decent to excellent movies. And sometimes he makes a bad one. But Clint Eastwood is quite the filmmaker, actually. One of the best ever. Win, lose, or draw, Clint Eastwood is one of the best. Whether you like him or not, Clint Eastwood made Unforgiven. Clint Eastwood made, I don't know, Gran Torino looks bad now. He made $1 Million Baby. That's a good movie. I will never watch it again. It is so sad. But it's good. Yeah, that's what happens. K. Ferg says, riding daddy's coattails into Hollywood is true. It's kind of an elite system, but there are a lot of elite systems, particularly in every industry. If you work in a corporation, a lot of people get upset when the CEO's son rises up through the ranks and becomes one of the chief officers of the company. Oh, there you go, Laurie 3040. Clint Eastwood and the orangutan in the two movies, Any Which Way You Can and Any Which Way But Loose. Those are good movies. Remember? Clyde, left. Or right turn, left turn. Oh, that's my sweat. Right turn. I loved those movies, Laurie 3040, when I was a kid. You know why? Because there was an ape. There's Clint Eastwood and an ape. And when you're a kid, that's all you need. You just need an ape that punches people in the face. I thought it was hilarious. Every which way, that's right. Every which way you can, every which way, any which way but loose. I forget which ones it's called. But there was a orangutan that punches people. That's all you need when you're a kid, really. You just need to just get a monkey or an ape and just have them punch people. Your kids will be entertained for days and weeks. It's very true. That's going to be the secret to this show eventually. I'm just going to have monkeys. I'm just going to be getting punched in the face by a chimpanzee. That will be what this show devolves into eventually. Actually, I would like this show to grow into a nice platform for positive messages and positive vibes to everyone. Harold and Maude. Laurie 3040 brings up Harold and Maude. Classic movie about an 18-year-old man who falls in love with an 81-year-old woman. Today, if it was reversed, perhaps frowned upon, but it is an excellent love story. It is a fantastical movie and love story involving questionable morals. We are canceling the apocalypse. I find this is a fun venue. I really do enjoy this every day with you guys. We're having a great time today talking about all these different movies that have dopey duos. Usually comedy duos. Are there any dopey duos? Hey, here's a dopey duo that wasn't so comedic, but they were funny. Damon Wayans and Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans in The Last Boy Scout. That was actually, I enjoyed that duo. Both dopey. Dopey cop and a dopey football player. And they get together, and they're dopey together. Best line from that movie, you guys know which line I'm talking about. The best line from the movie The Last Boy Scout, touch me again and I'll kill you. That's the fun thing about Shane Black movies. Shane Black movies, you can't fault them for the stunts he pulls in those movies. One of the greatest stunts, you might not like The Predator, the movie The Predator directed, written by Shane Black. Shane Black wrote Lethal Weapon. He wrote The Last Boy Scout. He wrote The Long Kiss Goodnight. He wrote Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Wrote and directed Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Wrote and directed Iron Man 3. Wrote and directed The Predator. Say what you will about his movies, but he incorporates some funny stuff in his movies that I've never seen in other movies. The touch me again and I'll kill you line, great line. Great stunt in that movie. And The Predator has a scene where the hero says, let's go fight the predators. And he's like, wait, hold on. And then he goes into the trailer to use the bathroom. And then he's like, okay, now I'm ready. I thought that was a hilarious thing that you never ever see in the movies. There was a show called 24. It featured Jack Bauer. It featured our favorite Kiefer Sutherland. Kiefer Sally Sutherland. His middle name being Sally. One of them anyway. Kiefer Donald Iris Sally Betty Sutherland. Look up his name. You'll see what I'm talking about. Kiefer Euclid Donald Freddie Bobby Johnny Nancy Sutherland. That's his name. He was in that movie. He was in that show, 24. I never watched it, but did they ever use the bathroom in that show? Because people, you got to pee like every hour and a half. You got to pee every 2 hours. And people are mostly in between peeing when you see them. Sometimes when people say, hey, how's it going? How are you? I'm like, yeah, in between peeing. That's how it feels lately anyway. There's not much to do. I might sweep my floor later. I mean, wax, sweep, mop, and wax. Do the whole thing. Shine it up. Polish it up. Why not, right? I've got the time. If anybody wants to hire me for, say, guitar lessons, I can teach guitar. I have a working knowledge of music. I could actually, DM me. Thinking of a career change for this moment, like a lot of us are. But this is obviously the thing that we can do. We can come here and talk to each other. Nice Guys is pretty awesome. That's right, Ron Pertwee. Shane Black also wrote and directed The Nice Guys. That is another dopey duo. So funny. That is Ron Pertwee. You and I have very similar taste. That movie, I just enjoyed thoroughly throughout, and I had a fun time. I liked that it was a comedy of errors. Everything that those guys got into, they just messed up horribly. That is one of my favorite things about movies. That's, people criticize movies like, say, Star Wars: The Force Awakens because everything that Rey wanted to do, they said she was a Mary Sue. They said she would say every mission she wanted to accomplish, she did. She set out to accomplish whatever she did. She achieved it. You guys know what I'm saying. There are movies like The Nice Guys where everything goes wrong the entire time. They're like, hey, I've got a plan. And then they try to do the plan and they mess up the plan every time. And it's glorious. There's even a scene in The Nice Guys where Ryan Baby Goose, punches, he like wraps up his hand to punch through a window so he can unlock a door, and he cuts his hand horribly. Because you see that in movies all the time, where people nonchalantly punch through windows to open things. They nonchalantly get thrown through a plate glass window. But this movie is like every little thing just goes as wrong as it possibly can, and it's fantastic. Laurie, 3040, getting some deep cuts here with Roy Scheider and Jaws. That is one dopey duo, isn't it? I'd say Roy Scheider, though. I'd say the shark is way smarter in that duo, though. Roy says, you know, you're gonna need a bigger boat. It's a great movie. Hey, Stroke here. What's up? Shy, how you doing? Ion, Heartbroken, RC Plane. You guys are all welcome here every day. Every day at noon we talk about this. Tomorrow's guest at noon will be Ron Perty TV. We're going to talk about movie making in general. Maybe we'll hone in on a very specific subject, but I would like to interview you, Ron, and understand what made you go into movies, what struck you as a kid, what kind of movies you like to make. Angie says, oh yeah, Sean and Marlon Wayans are excellent. The Wayans brothers in the sitcoms or White Chicks. Yeah, those are great. I did like that show, The Wayans Brothers, because they're just so dopey. Listen, as long as there are Wayans, just give them jobs because they're all funny. I cannot, they are the Jackson family of comedy. The Wayans brothers. All of the Wayans, and there's several generations of Wayans. Damon Wayans Jr. used to work out at my gym. Here's the problem with Damon Wayans Jr. Don't be named exactly the same name as the person you look exactly like. in movies, it could be Damon Wayans, it could be Damon Wayans Jr. There's obviously no difference between them. Maybe like 15, 20 years. You might as well just call them the same Damon Wayans. It's like just Damon Wayans Part 2, they should call him. My younger cousin is named after Kiefer Sutherland, but his name is spelled differently, and another cousin is named Kirstie Alley. Kirstie Alley, yeah. You've got a family of very famous actor name-alikes. Namesakes. Candyland. You ever see, the Olsen twins? Yeah, we like the Olsen twins. I grew up on Full House and the Olsen twins. That's, you know, I always wanted to be like, I guess a combination of Uncle Jesse and Uncle, what was the guy who said cut it out? Those guys, I feel like that was my goal in life, was to be Uncle Jesse and Uncle Dave. Shrek and Donkey. Yeah, we're setting them up and knocking them out the park today. Eddie Murphy and the Judge Reinhold. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cops. This is a fun discussion today. Angie brings up Willard Carroll Smith Jr. and Alfonso Ribeiro. We all know Willard Carroll Smith Jr. He's Will Smith. Woo! Woo! I can't do it. That's embarrassing. He's just like, oh man, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Will Smith is the most excited person I've ever seen in my life. Alfonso Ribeiro, you might remember, was on a show called Silver Spoons. Silver Spoons featured Ricky Schroeder. When I was a kid, his name was Ricky Schroeder, and then he wanted to be taken seriously, so he changed his name to Rick. He's like, I am no longer. It's like when, that's like not Da Baby, but Lil Wayne. Wait, there was a rapper who took away the diminutive part of his name because he's like, I want to be like MC Hammer became Hammer. MC Hammer's like, listen, I'm no longer a master of ceremonies. I am just a hammer. Where is MC Hammer these days anyway? Why can't we get any MC Hammer hits anymore? Why is it that we get more Vanilla Ice than ever these days, yet we have no MC Hammer? This is a discrepancy. We need some more MC Hammer. We need Hammer. Please, Hammer, don't hurt him. He's Reverend Hammer now. I'm sorry. I feel MC Hammer was misguided. He had a wonderful, beautiful career. He was a very excellent dancer. He was a very excellent dancer. He had 417 people in his dance troupe. He had a wonderful dance troupe that he took with him on the road. They were just wonderful dancers, every single one of them. And he had the one guy with the hair, and he paid them all a lot of money to dance with him. And he paid him all of his money, and he also paid them money that he didn't have. Because Reverend Hammer, you gonna go to a Reverend Hammer right now after he lost all that money? After he made all the money in the world? You gonna trust this guy? I don't think so, Reverend Hammer. Now answer me this, Angie. I haven't been following MC Hammer's career as closely. Is Reverend Hammer, does he, when he is preaching, does he have like James Brown, is there not a Jesus in the background, but maybe just a throne with like a statue of James Brown in the background? Like at the beginning of Too Legit to Quit? Reverend Hammer comes out and he's like, I am too legit to quit the Holy Spirit. That's Reverend Hammer's sermon. My favorite part about that video, by the way, now we're going to go back in the way back Hammer machine. The beginning of the Too Legit to Quit video, I would say that James Brown was at an advanced age. James Brown was an advanced age. Also, James Brown wasn't very known for his speaking. He was known for his amazing, funky singing and his feeling good. He felt good, usually. James Brown was also known for chasing his wife around his front lawn in a pickup truck with a shotgun. We would like to forget that part about James Brown, but he was a complicated man. That we cannot let go. That we can include in our reminiscing. He was a very complicated individual. However, my favorite thing about the Too Legit to Quit video, and I'm pretty sure this is the Too Legit to Quit video. If it's not, it might have been That's Why We Pray, just so we can make it today. But I could not understand a word that James Brown was saying at the beginning of that. That's why it's too legit to quit. James Brown, it's going to be too legit to quit. Yeah. It's like they were feeding James Brown the lines. You were putting the lines into a James Brown machine. And then James Brown would say, like James Brown saying the Gettysburg Address, let's go. 7 years ago. We too legit to quit. You know what it is? It's his talent. James Brown could make anything funky. He can make Mary Had a Little Lamb. Hit me 17 times. Her fleece was white as snow. Ding, 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 ding. Everywhere that Mary went, that fleece was sure to go. I don't know. Listen, I'm just saying, James Brown was the funkiest human being ever. Did anyone say Tom Hanks and Wilson? Hanks and Wilson is a good dopey duo. You know who else is a good Tom Hanks duo? Bosom Buddies. Also Dragnet. Thank you, Shy, for bringing that up. Bosom Buddies. Bosom Buddy. Yeah. Uh-oh. I think we've just witnessed the birth of a new impression. I just need another doll who could be James Brown. Hey, just too legit to quit. James Brown, he ended up quitting. So did MC Hammer. You know, it's actually James Brown never quit. James Brown proved to be too legit to quit. Hammer was, I think, Hammer himself was probably feeling a little bit insecure about being legit. He ended up quitting. That's why he wrote a song about it. He's like, I'm not gonna quit. I'm being reactionary. K Ferg says, Bosom Buddies. Sorry, guys. On Instagram, we just finished up our feed on Instagram, guys. We're going on and on here. We're talking about people who are too legit, people who are have since quit. There's so many different types. It takes all kinds, really. Do you remember the Addams Family song? The MC. Let's just do a retrospective of an MC Hammer retrospective. We've got a whole 2 albums. Uh-oh. Gundam Style. Do you mean Gangnam Style or Gundam Style? I always wonder about Gangnam Style and Psy and Gangnam Style. Remember when Gangnam Style made like 2 billion views on YouTube and everybody was like, this is the most watched video in the history of YouTube because it was like bizarre, but also catchy, but also bizarre, but also like funny, but also kitsch, but also good, but also bad, but also none of the above, but all of the above. And we would all be like, this guy's crazy. And he's like, whoop, Gangnam Style. And we were like, oh, that's hilarious. Are we laughing at him or with him? At what point is it cool to like Gangnam Style? At what point do cool people start to say, yeah, I was always into Gangnam Style? Is there a half-life on the hipness of Gangnam Style? Because I always feel like hipsters, the definition of a hipster, now you learned it from here. You watched it here first. The definition of a hipster is somebody who likes things that were not cool from back in the day. A hipster would be like, yo, check out my GoBots t-shirt. GoBots. And you're like, but bro, GoBots were the dumb version of the Transformers. They were the cheaper version of the Transformers. GoBots are what I got when I was a kid. I got several GoBots. GoBots didn't have like, they couldn't go like, and then it was like, GoBots. You know, it's not as, like their advertising campaign for GoBots was just like, you know, they're not quite Transformers, okay? Do you like a car with a head? You just gotta pretend the rest, okay? This was the advertising campaign, I'm sure. Just pretend the car has arms. It's a GoBot. No, the Transformers were the cool, heavy-duty metal toys. GoBots were the one who was just like, here's a helicopter, and now the helicopter has a head. They were not as cool. Not as cool. But if you're a hipster, if you're a hipster now, and you wear a GoBots t-shirt, people are like, hey, that's a thing I can remember. I feel like if I ever see someone wearing a GoBots shirt, I'd be like, did you really like the GoBots? Were you really into the Silverhawks as much as the Thundercats? I don't think so. There it is, Angie. I was going to sing it, but you wrote it out for me, so I won't mess up these lyrics. They do what they want to do, say what they want to say, live how they want to live, play how they want to play, dance how they want to dance. Kicking they slap a friend. I think you forgot the one line, which is the dumbest line of that song. Let's analyze the lyrics. Angie, I'm so happy that you're here because we can go back and look at these lyrics very analytically and critically. Now, Mr. Hammer, Mr. MC Hammer, Warner Brothers or whoever would like you, I forget who produced the Addams Family. MC Hammer, you are a sensation. We love your music. We love that whole you can't touch this thing. Why don't you write us a song for our next movie, The Addams Family Values? Because family values is in the news and we've analyzed this. Family values is on the ticket. This is like one of the hot button issues of the early 90s is family values. And this is what the Republicans would run on. So as a spoof and a joke, we're going to name the Addams Family sequel The Addams Family Values. We're going to get the hit musician. We loved all this. That's why we love that praying stuff you do, Reverend Hammer. Write us a song for the sequel to The Addams Family. The Addams Family Values, we call it. We would like you to make us a hit song to help sell this movie to the youth. And then MC Hammer said, I will take this challenge. I will take this gift that you bestowed upon me, this privilege for me to write these words that will touch a new generation of moviegoers. We'll introduce them to the Addams Family. Cousin It, Thing, all of the lovely things. Uncle Fester, the iconic family members. Wednesday Pugsley, Gomez. How do I integrate all this into some wonderful piece of music? Let me get to work. And he gets his pen out. What are some of the things that come to mind when I think about the Addams Family? Well, they do what they want to do. They say what they want to say. That's right. You know that at this point in Hammer's career, he's so in his own head. He's so self-inflated. His ego is so big that he thinks anything he touches turns to gold. That's why he lost all his money, by the way. And you know there's like 5-6 people in the back going, that's right. And he's like, what do? They do what they want to do. And they're like, yeah, MC Hammer, that's a hit right there. They're encouraging this guy. You know, they play what they want. They do what they want to do, play what they want to dance how they want to dance. Am I right? You can apply these lyrics to any human being, really. But MC Hammer specifically got to this line, dance how they want to dance. And he ran out of ideas. He ran out of lyrics. MC Hammer, I put to you, I contend, MC Hammer was not thinking beyond that line because he said, what else do Addams families do? And he paced back and forth. This is a montage now. It fades. The calendar is flipping. We're getting closer to the release date of the Addams Family Values. MC Hammer's racking his brain. They do what they want to do. Say what they want to say. Live how they want to live. Play how they want to play. This all rhymes, he says to himself. I think I'm onto something. I think I've got a hit. They dance how they want to dance. I should probably include something very specific to what I think the Addams Family represents, and kick and they slap a friend. The producer's like, listen, just record the next line. We don't have any more time, Mr. Hammer. Kick and they slap a friend. Nobody said, MC Hammer, I don't think that's a good line. Nobody stopped him. Kick and they slap a friend. Do you think that that's an Addams Family value? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry I had to take you on that journey. They kick and they slap a friend. Hammer, I've been there. I've been in the recording studio. I've been down to the wire trying to come up with an alternative lyric to what was, because just for phonemic reasons, just for like, what will fit this song better? Never have I stooped to kicking or slapping a friend. Hey, Tatiana, welcome. Hey, Ange, I had all that stuff. I would wear baggy pants as a kid. I would run sideways, side to side. I would be like, look at me, I'm doing the crab walk. I was a kid. I was that kid. I was dancing how I wanted to dance and playing how I wanted to play. I, however, did not kick, nor did I slap any friends. I'm against violence. We all had those pants. You know we had those pants. Well, we had a wonderful run today, didn't we? We looked back on all these comedy duos. We appreciated the funk that James Brown has brought us through the years. We appreciated the comedy that people like Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly have done for us. Seth Rogen and James Franco. C-3PO and R2-D2. All of these people. Cheech and Chong, guys. Cheech and Chong, what a comedy duo they are, aren't they? Tommy Chong is 104 years old. He's out there dancing tangos with his wife. This guy's an amazing guy. Did the hammer pants come back? Because I'll just go dig them up. I'm gonna get my hypercolor shirt and my hammer pants, and it's gonna be 1991 all over again. Yeah, I think a lot of us had those hammer pants. And listen, this is what I always say about styles. Every style that is very distinct, that all the kids are doing, is always gonna look stupid. I mean, you get past the point where you're trying to like adopt whatever is the new trend, and you kind of settle into your own style. Maybe you adjust slightly as you go, but when you're a kid, you're trying to find your style, and you just observe other people, and you see what's in pop culture, and you absorb that, and you go, this looks cool, these baggy pants. This hairstyle looks great. Listen, every girl in the late 80s had this thing with their hair. Every girl, where it would stick up in the front and then go over to the side with like hairspray. Every girl, you know what I'm talking about. If you were a girl, your hair went straight up and over to the side or something. And you were like, this is cool. I always say this, listen, if I had a time machine, I would go back to any time throughout history. So what I could do now, this might be a really funny TikTok. Actually, maybe I should do this TikTok as a performative TikTok on the street and just go up to people and go, wearing like, I'll wear like all silver and maybe like a visor or something and be like, I'm from the future. I'm here to warn you about your terrible, silly looking haircut. Yeah. Because every haircut is dumb. Every haircut looks dumb in 10 years. So there's no winning. There's no winning. I actually knew somebody who just never thought they ever looked silly. They were like, no, I always had a good sense of style. And I'm like, you're laughing at a picture of me when I was 15. Show me a picture of you when you were 15 and tell me that that looks relevant still. Some people can't see it. I see it all the time. You about your I'm only maybe 3 years. Every 3 years, I'd say. 3 to 5 years, haircuts. Remember? So I had a faux hawk, because faux hawk was a thing in the early 2000s. So then I had the fro hawk because a fro hawk was a thing. Like people with curly hair had like that little bump in the middle of their head. That's what I had. I had all the hairstyles. I'm done. I've retired hairstyles. I just let it grow now. I've retired trying out new haircuts. Everybody be like, damn, my style's on fleek. See, I even said on fleek, which is like 4 years old already. 4 to 18-year-old Angela thought she was the dopest dresser. Yeah, everybody does. But then you go about 10 years in the future and you say, oops, oopsie. This was cool at one point. K-Ferg had the words cut into the back of his head. I got to show you. I'm going to dig it up, but I had a flat top. I had the flat top like this. I looked like Kid and Play. I had the flat top. That was an excellent day. I was in 8th grade. That was a great day. My brother cut my hair for me, and I was like excited to go to school with my flat top. I look back at that picture fondly. Also embarrassed. I was Gerald from Hey Arnold. Yes, Shy. You could listen. I would like to say Kid and Play because they were cool and they had 2 house party movies. But you could say Gerald from Hey Arnold. That's fine. But I looked like Kid and Play. Stop bumping my table. Anyway. Uh-oh, Tatiana had curly long hair, straight bangs, blown straight up. Uh-oh. Yeah, Tatiana, we want to see that tweet. I will retweet that if you tweet that at me, that picture. Also, in the Discord, if y'all are on Discord. We want to see your hairstyles, guys. That's the challenge. Show us your haircuts. Show us your haircuts from when you were a kid. I will go over there and show you me in like picture day in school when I was a very young baby. I have a picture of me. I got to find it again, but I am wearing a jersey, a basketball jersey, because they were like, this kid's going to be tall and he's going to love basketball. But I had pretty much the same haircut I do today, except like my head was smaller, so the curls were bigger, if that makes sense. And the haircut looks like I was straight out of Rod Stewart and the Faces. It's actually pretty cool. The coolest haircut I ever had was a very rock and roll haircut, and I was not but one yet, maybe two. And that was the coolest haircut I ever had, and it's just been a struggle ever since. It's been a struggle of hair products and humidity. We got to see these haircuts, guys. Your most embarrassing haircuts. Let's go. Let's do it. We're going to commit to this. I will try to find that picture of me with my flat top haircut. Both kid and play. I'm not playing with you. Well, guys, if you are in the YouTube channel, like the video. If you're on another platform, like the video. Share it with your friends. Share your most embarrassing haircut. We need to see. We need to see what you thought was totally fine and acceptable and what you were proud of at one point, because we can use this as a measure of times changing. Things that we find relevant today will not be relevant in the future. Things we find acceptable today will not be acceptable in the future. And for good reason. Because that flat top that I was wearing, I mean, it was nice. It's flat on top. Yeah, I did ask for this. We this is going to be a fun challenge. Yes. I was a tall little baby. They were like, let's put him in a basketball jersey. Yeah. Little did they know. I do like playing sports. I do like exercise. I do enjoy that. However, my sports are like RC3PO and R2D2. Those are my favorite athletes. Oh, Gundam style is two mechs dancing. Ooh, all right. Hammer still hasn't touched you. Good. Please, Hammer, don't hurt him. Well, guys, thank you so much. You guys can do what you want to do. Say what you want to say. Live how you want to live. Play how you want to play. Dance how you want to dance. But we ain't going to kick it or slap you. Thank you for joining me on Aristotle Full Throttle today. If y'all want to jump over to the Discord to keep the conversation going, I will share the link right now. If y'all feel like you are in medias res inside a conversation right now and that you want to keep it going, I will add this to the Discord. Yeah, the Discord is there. I'll drop it in there twice on all the platforms. And you guys can go over there and we'll all chat there and have a talk and I want to see those hairstyles, guys. I'm going to find a haircut that I had. And maybe I could find my blonde braids at some point and you might be like, what is going on with this kid? Well, this is a lovely day as always. Stay tuned. Come back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. We're going to have Ron per T and we're going to be laughing at your haircuts. And talking about movie making, filmmaking, what we love to do. Creating art is what the bottom line is. We like to create art. And art is a reflection of the time. Art is a reflection of the culture. And art is always for art's sake. Thank you, guys. You're the best. I'm Aristotle Full Throttle, your bro in the know with the fro. And if you want to continue, if you want to support the channel on Patreon, please go ahead and do that. If you want to buy a mug with my mug on it, you can go to the Patreon. You can go to my Teespring. If you want to buy this music, this song itself, you could buy this. You could purchase this song. It helps support all of the creative things that I've done throughout life, and I'm trying to, you know, just as MC Hammer's collecting royalties on You Can't Touch This and Addams Family Values, it's nice to have art that lives on its own, that people can listen to forever and in perpetuity. Thank you guys so much. You're the best. I'm Aristotle, Full Throttle, your bro in the know, currently with a fro. You never know. I'll see you tomorrow.